Another characteristic of Singer's was that, he worked nonstop. From what his former assistants told me, he wouldn't spend the night at a hotel. He'd spend it on an airplane. And he would be, texting his assistants at all hours of the day, giving them various tasks. He was an extremely driven guy.
I got the sense he had clients all over the place. I just looked back on text messages, and every time we connected, he says, I'm in Dallas, I'm in Fort Lauderdale, I'm in New York, back to California. He even lived out of a van at times when he was coaching. He had this big Mercedes-type van thing. He'd sleep in it because it was just easier. Rick had a passion for just getting up every morning, 4 a.m., working out, swimming, cycling, running. That man was like the Energizer Bunny. I've never seen anybody that would just have so much energy and go, go, go. And I think he lived on about 3 hours of sleep a night, from my understanding. And that was fine with him. I looked at a lot of his behaviors and realized, he was hiding a lot. He had been leading and living this secret life. No wonder why he couldn't get close to people.
Hey, Rick.
Hey there.
Is this a good time?
Yeah, it's good for me.
Okay, great. My name is Augusto Jimenez. We're sitting up here in one of the pavilions enjoying a beautiful afternoon at the Casa in Napa. And so, let's go and taste. I just want you to walk me through the whole kind of water polo thing again and how it works. I mean, you and I talked about the economics, timing, and how all that works. You and I had a brief conversation about it, but I just kind of wanted to get it straight if you don't mind.
Okay.
I'm putting together your daughter's sports profile now. It'll be a water polo profile now.
I take her transcript, test scores, and profile to the liaison for all sports in USC. Football, everybody has to go through her.
My name's Donna Heinel. I am a Senior Associate Athletic Director.
By all accounts, Donna Heinel was a very diligent supervisor who was really a stickler for details. She was also getting 20 grand a month from Singer.
They have meetings every other Thursday, which are called subcommittee meetings, where the dean of admissions and 2 admission staff are there and they go through the athletes. It could be water polo this week, it could be football next week, it could be basketball. It just depends on where they are in the seasons and what's going on.
Heinel became the gatekeeper between the admissions department and the athletic department.
Because the idea was for the students to be treated as recruited athletes, that's virtually a guarantee of admission.
Some of the fake athletes at USC, it seems like it would be hard to miss. I mean, there was a 5'5" men's basketball player. Another example was a high school cheerleader who was made to look like a lacrosse player. There was a water polo player who didn't play water polo in high school. It's pretty remarkable that none of these things raised a red flag, and on the rare occasion when they did, Heinel was there to smooth them over with the admissions department.
Your daughter will get presented, and the committee says, okay, good, she's in. Then what happens is, Donna tells me she's in, we're good.
Essentially, she's been admitted before she even applied.
At that point, you will send your $200,000 check to our foundation, and then Oban will call me and say, okay, this is how I want the money split. You understand?
And my daughter's not worthy to be on that team.
No, he's my guy, and he knows she's not going to be right. He knows all that.
There were 4 USC employees that were involved with Rick Singer. One of them was Jovan Babic, the water polo coach. Babic is by far the most successful coach in college water polo. So Babic has been charged by authorities of accepting more than $250,000 in exchange for helping 2 students get into USC as water polo players.
Donna Heinel essentially puts them on the recruited walk-on list, which happens over time, and they just don't show up for practice. That's fine.
One of the things that Singer took advantage of was the fact that athletic departments and admissions offices both take the coach's word for the athletic caliber of the person they're recruiting.
Is there any risk that this thing blows up in my face?
It hasn't in 24 years.
I know all that. But the environment, like some article comes out that the polo team is selling seasons to the school for $250 grand.
Well, no, because she's a water polo player.
but he's not.
I'm so scared. You just took it. No matter what happens, you're gonna be fine. And you have to take it, yeah. You're gonna be fine. I promise. You got the prayer.
There's an update in your application portal, and then you click on it, and then there's that letter that pops up. We appreciate your passion for our school. We are sorry to inform you.
Unable to operate admission to Stanford. I'm not getting into San Diego or UCLA. Just makes me feel like shit. I literally started bawling. It just angered me.
There were a lot of tears, there were a lot of punching the wall, there were a lot of cursing.
And I did not leave my room. I was crying the entire weekend. What about Rick? I have seen a change and I have seen a progression, and I do think that students are more obsessed with college.
I would say most kids are getting plagued by this anxiety. You can feel it. They're freaking out when you meet with them, and they're like, what if this happened? What about that? And, do you think they're going to not like me because I wrote this one word? And it's like they're losing their minds because of it.
Basically, I got rejected by almost all of the colleges I applied to. It's just awful because it's basically you think something's wrong with yourself.
In the future, when we have children and they're applying to colleges, where do you think they're going to be going? Like, no one's going to be getting into colleges at that point. It's crazy. Like, USC's acceptance rate just went down like 3 more percent. It's like at 12% now, which is like...
Most students who want to go to college could find a college to go to. The problem is, far too many students want to go to the same colleges.
My goals were, I wanted to get in that. And when I didn't get in, I was just broken.
I just think I want to do AP Environmental Sciences here. I'm interested in it at all, just to have this extra leverage. It doesn't really help.
This is what's going on in high schools across the country. How many advanced classes can you take? You drop orchestra because if you don't do orchestra, you can take another science class. There's so much pressure on these kids. Because if a school offers 15 APs and you've only taken one, you can cross off the top 50 schools. If you have people who just go home and all they do is homework, I hate seeing how it consumes people's lives.
I think social media is a contributing factor because as soon as a student anywhere has an acceptance, it goes on to social media. So it's just another time to sort of feel a punch in the gut. It's just really shitty to feel like this. And I know that people that got in are super deserving.
I learned to curl my fake lash with my real lashes.
Olivia Jade is an extremely successful YouTube influencer, and she had millions of followers watch these videos where she would, get up, brush her teeth, do her morning makeup routine, pick out outfits. So it's this very diary-like thing, but with the added benefit of branding opportunities.
I created my own collection with Princess Polly. I get to reveal, and my highlight palette with Sephora collection.
She's the child of the actress Lori Loughlin and the fashion designer Massimo Giannulli. They supposedly had both of their daughters, Olivia Jade and Bella, pose on a rowing machine and sent these pictures to Sing and had them accepted into USC as coxswains.
I actually went to high school with Olivia Jade, and I know the school she was at. I saw a picture of Olivia Jade's sister on the wall with the seniors, and it was like, congratulations for getting into USC. And then I remember hearing later that Olivia had also gotten into USC. And I was like, no, because USC is extremely hard to get into. So not only one sister, but both of them. Off to school. I will not. Whatever.
There's an Olivia Jade video where it's the first day of her senior year of high school, and she's pretty miserable.
I've gone to one class and I already want to die. So hot. Every single room.
I just want to go home. Then she returns home and she says, I've never been so happy.
to be anywhere in my entire life.
Then there's also a nod to a kind of like, hashtag blessed.
We have to remember how lucky we are to have an education and how to have a good education, or an education at all. So, as much as I hate it, I still hate it, but I'm grateful that I get to be educated, even though I hate it.
Olivia Jade had said that she wanted to drop out of high school back when she was a senior.
So I told my mom I wanted to quit school, and then she was like, "It's not happening." And so she made me stick it out, and my dad made me go to college. Mostly my parents really wanted me to go because both of them didn't go to college, and then...
They did alright though.
Yeah, I think they did fine.
They did just fine.
Yeah. Hypocrites.
It never seemed like she was very interested in what college could give her. And why should she be? She was very successful in what she was doing. Things were going great for her. In November of 2017, Donna Heinel presented Olivia Jade's athletic profile to the USC subcommittee, and they approved her admission to the university conditionally. Less than 2 weeks later, Rick Singer wrote an email confirming to Olivia's parents that she was going to be accepted at USC, and told them to keep it hush-hush until March. The guidance counselor at Olivia Jade's high school became suspicious because he didn't believe either of the sisters participated in the coup. According to the government, Olivia Jade and her parents discussed how to avoid the possibility of the high school counselor disrupting their admissions scheme. Olivia Jade asked whether she should list USC as her top choice school, and Lori replied, yes, but it might be a flag for the weasel to meddle, presumably referring to the counselor, and Massimo added to that, fuck him, and said that he was a nosy bastard. Things began to unravel when Olivia Jade's counselor had a phone call with a USC admissions official.
Conducted routine counselor call with USC to check up on the dozens of applicants that year. When we got to Olivia, USC said she was flagged as a recruit for the crew team. I told them I had no knowledge of Olivia's involvement in crew, and based on what I knew of her video blogging schedule, highly doubted she was involved in the sport.
Somehow, Massimo found out what the counselor had said to USC and went to the school to confront him.
I received a call from the front desk that Mr. Giannoli was downstairs and wanted to talk to me. When we sat down in my office, he aggressively asked what I was telling USC about his daughters and why I was trying to ruin or get in the way of their opportunities. His tone made me visibly nervous.
Word of the confrontation got back to Donna Heinel at USC, and she left a voicemail for Rick Singer, cautioning about the situation.
Yeah, hey, Rick. I just want to make sure that, I don't want the parents being angry or creating any type of disturbance at school. Okay? I just want to make sure that those students, if questioned at the school, that they respond appropriately, that they're walk-on candidates for their respective sports. That they're looking forward to trying out for the team and making a team when they get here. Okay? That's what I just want to make sure of. I don't want anybody walking into their high school, yelling at counselors. That'll shut everything down.
The scandal did surprise me because it reflected a kind of blatant illegality, bribing college coaches to pretend that their children were athletes when in fact they weren't. Why would a college coach jeopardize their job and their reputation to let somebody in for a bribe?
Fundraising was certainly a big part of my job. The funding that's going to the football and basketball programs are pretty extreme compared to what a smaller sport like sailing gets.
The school isn't making money by having a sailing program. It's great they offer it for the students, but at the end of the day, that program is in the red. Right? That money has to be either made up for donations or the school is just writing a check for salaries, equipment, travel.
My dream would be if my job was just a coach. And all told, I was horrible at fundraising. It's not something I really like to do, but it was kind of done out of necessity. It was always a struggle to kind of survive. In December 2018, all the head coaches are going to meet with the senior staff. It's a big deal to have that meeting. In 11 years, I've met with the senior athletic director maybe a handful of times. So I'm in the athletic director's office. There's 6 of them there. We had just won a national championship less than a month earlier, And the athletic director hadn't even recognized it. Didn't say congratulations, didn't reach out to the team, nothing. Still didn't even say congratulations during that meeting. The only thing that he was doing was watching TV. He's facing, 4 or 5 screens on a wall, and is watching basketball. The only time he looks up at me and kind of really starts asking questions is when it comes to fundraising. He's like, "Oh, John, you're doing a great job of fundraising. Keep that up. That's really helpful." And then he goes back to the television, and that's it for the whole meeting.
This is someone that knew Rick Sane.
Yes. Yeah, he told me he did. Rick really was pushing me hard to really take a look at this student. He was really interested and knew that I really wanted a second assistant coach and was struggling to fundraise for that position. And he said, "Hey, I would like, through my foundation, I would like to donate $110,000 to the program to get you through, a year or two of funding that position." It's like, no strings attached. I just want to continue our relationship and keep bringing people to you and have you take a look at them. So great. That's fantastic.
I think this was a slippery slope for John, and he didn't knowingly wake up and say, today I'm going to join this racketeering conspiracy. But all the government has to prove is, did you accept the money in exchange for something that the giver of the money wanted and didn't duly earn, didn't deserve?
The biggest factor in the Stanford coach's case was he didn't personally enrich himself. The proceeds that he received furthered the sailing program at Stanford. Rick Singer is skilled at leveraging on people. He had a sixth sense to exploit, find the vulnerabilities of people with whom he was working. From my understanding of Felicity Huffman's case, he told Felicity, "Well, your daughter's scores aren't good enough to get into this school." Turns out that was made up, that was false. The daughter would have gotten in regardless of that. It's identifying those pain points. Felicity begin to rationalize. Am I a good enough mother? Have I spent too much time on my career? Don't you want your daughter to go to a good school? Leverage enough for the agency.
Now, his grades are not good enough to get into SC. You're right. Oh yeah.
It's amazing. Okay. What would her chances be without this process? 0. She won't get in.
0. She has no chance.
But he did well, like what a good marketer does. He sold the benefits. It's very simple. Would you like your daughter to go to Harvard? Yes. Great. If you would like your daughter to go to Harvard, do this. Here's the reality. Your daughter's not scoring that well. Been mentoring her for like 2 years. The kid just doesn't get it. And if she's not Harvard material and you really want to go to Harvard, we got to find a different route. We got to take a different path here. Here's that path. We're going to have someone take the test for you. What do you mean take the test? This guy for $15,000 is going to take the test.
This is absolutely unheard of. To make this happen, I can make scores happen, and nobody on the planet can make scores happen. Your kid won't even know it happened. It will happen as though she will think she's really super smart. She got lucky on a test, and you got a score now.
It's the home run of home runs.
And it works?
Every time.
What is the number? The number on the test is 75,000, okay? It's 75,000 to get any scores you want to get on the ACT or SAT.
If you want to get into an elite university in America, on the ACT, which is scored out of 36, if you're not really in the 34, 35, 36 range, or on the SAT, if you're not sort of 1,500 and above, you're probably not in the conversation.
For many years, the SAT was explained and advertised as being an aptitude test, a very prominent predictive feature of getting a high test score is family income. The College Board has admitted, and the ACT have admitted this for years. This is not a secret that's being divulged. If I were appointed czar of American college admissions, I would abolish standardized testing. It would mean that all of these wealthy test prep companies would have to find something else to do.
Register your son or daughter for the Test and Reviews 1500 Plus course. It's a game changer.
There's a fair warning around test preparation. This is a business. Every claim they make is marketing driven.
We even offer a guaranteed score improvement of at least 150 points.
So you have people out there who are making claims like, we'll improve your score 500 points. Well, that's worth $1,000 investment.
It's only worth $1,000 investment if you have a disposable $1,000 to invest.
All standardized testing automatically advantages the people who are already advantaged.
Most affluent people are accessing people like me, and 85% of America just can't access that level of expertise. A private college counselor is going to run you anywhere from on the low end, I mean, probably not getting a quality college counselor, $200-300 an hour. On the high end, you're talking about $500 to over $1,500 an hour to access these guys and gals, and it's a lot.
When you look at it in light of the scandal, when you have predominantly rich families who had every advantage that said they shouldn't be fine on the SAT, they're going to score in the highest demographic, they had all the prep in the world that they wanted, and yet they still cheated.
Okay, first thing we need to do, and I think I mentioned this to your wife, you need to get your daughter tested for a learning difference. Let's say it's my person who does it, or whoever you want to do it. I need that person to get her 100% extended time over multiple days.
When you take the SAT or the ACT, it's a time test, right? There are restrictions on how it's delivered. To account for learning disabilities, what often happens is accommodations are provided. You have to have certain medical documentation of the need for these accommodations. And that's one of the avenues that Rick Singer exploited.
I also need to tell your daughter that when she takes the test, to be stupid, to not be as smart as she is. The goal is to be slow, not be as bright as she is, all that, so that we show discrepancies. The Academy kids are getting extra time all the time. You mean the Greenwich Academy? Yeah, everywhere in the country. What happened is, all the wealthy families figured out, if I get my kid tested and they get extended time, they can do better on the test. Most of these kids don't even have issues. They're getting extra time. The playing field's not fair.
No, it's not. I mean, this is, to be honest, it feels a little weird.
I know it does. When she gets a score, and we have choices, you're going to be saying, okay, I'll take all my kids. We're going to do the same thing. And a score of, I think that would be, the score will be whatever you want it to be.
So, again, and keep in mind, I'm a lawyer, so I'm sort of doing this with you. No way she's taking the test. It's her taking the test, right? There's no way any trouble comes from this. Nothing like that.
So, I explained this to you before.
I apologize.
I get you.
Bear with me.
I will explain to you the process. You're going to fly to LA and go on a paid recruiting visit. Visit some schools while you're out here. Then what will happen is Mark, who's the proctor, will fly in and he'll show up on Friday night, just like you guys will. Then on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, you guys will show up at the school. Your daughter will go in and take the test. Mark will be your proctor. She'll be the only one taking it in the room with Mark. What we do with kids who have learning differences is they write their answers on a separate sheet to the side of it so that we can rebuttal them. She'll think that when she's done with the test, she has taken the test, no doubt about it. She'll walk out the door at the end of it and she'll say to you, Dad, it was so hard, or I'm so tired, or whatever the typical reaction out of the kid. You guys will, and then Mark will look at all her answers. Mark will then take the exam and then ensure that whatever score we decide that we want to get, he hasn't come to it. It's unbelievable what he can do. So she'll never know that this actually occurred. She'll look at the results and she'll say, oh my God, Dad, I got a 32.
He's the test-taking whiz who helped dozens of high school students cheat on their college entrance exam.
Mark Waddell is the one who was flying out to different testing locations and proctoring or correcting answers. I have a client whose daughter was a big tennis player and studied with him years ago.
He was a Harvard graduate who worked in college exam prep for IMG Academy, which is a school for athletes in Bradenton, Florida, where Serena and Venus Williams went.
He's a very unassuming guy, but the story was after he had his first child and he didn't want money, that's how he kind of got caught up into
pitch from the center to make a few extra $1,000 here and there.
He did not have inside information about the correct answers. He was just smart enough to get a near perfect score on demand.
If Rick Singer is the linchpin of this college admissions scandal, then Mark Riddell is the brains.
One of the things that amuses me and annoys me when I see most of the reports around him being a test-taking savant or whatever they choose to call him at the moment, he's an adult who's taking a test designed for 11th graders. Anyone worth their salt in the test preparation industry should be able to do what he did. The question is, will they be willing to do it?
Singer, the admitted mastermind behind the scheme, paid Riddell $10,000 per test to fly from his home in Florida to test centers in Texas and California.
Pretty much everything in the higher ed system is based on trust of other people. At what dollar value will you be willing to compromise your ethics, right? That's the ultimate question here. For me, it keeps coming back to, it's the wealthy have the ability, and in this case, the means and the willingness to take advantage of these things.
Rick, I have a question for you. So I was able to get my younger daughter the multi-day ACT.
Okay, good. Got her extended time over multiple days. Got it.
Yes, so I got that. The only thing is, my younger daughter is not like she sounds too big. So I said to her, oh, we're going to get her fixed. She's going to wonder why.
Michelle Janhouse, whose family created the famous snack Hot Pockets, accused of paying $100 grand to boost her daughter's ACT score and get her into USC as a most volleyball recruit.
Well, in most cases, Michelle, none of the kids know.
Right, but how? She wanted to know, but how?
You don't really have to say anything. In school, you can say you're going to be up in LA for the weekend.
That's what we did last time. My younger daughter is not an issue here because she's going to say, like, why am I taking it up there?
You're just going to say that you're going to do it up here because
I thought the conversations that were recorded on tape were achingly poignant. Ache for the children who read these transcripts, and they also ache for the parents who I'm sure bitterly regret being so candid.
She's going to figure this out. She's going to say to me, she already thinks that I'm up to no good, but just... I want to have this conversation with you.
No, yeah, I got it. I totally get it.
She is totally different than my older daughter. Like, she used to think that she... My older daughter was like, I don't really care. This test is such bullshit. I don't ever want to take it. And my younger daughter is like actually studying to try to get a 34. So it would actually be a great boost to her. I told my daughter, she came to me and she was like, you're not going to tell my sister, are you? And I was like, no. It's weird. Family dynamics, but I just don't know.
Cool. Sweet Singer's lifestyle can change and become more lavish. Moved from the Sacramento area to Newport Beach and had a very nice house there. Singer invested in a whole bunch of quixotic ventures, restaurants, soccer team, and many other things. So the money came in fast, and it seems to have gone up pretty fast to his lifestyle and to his investments.
Rick called me up out of the blue and said, I've been talking to you about a year. I remember you being extremely sharp with marketing in the restaurant business, in real estate. I think you're perfect as opening up and running one of my offshoot companies of my coaching business. And I thought they sounded great. Rick had invited a group of us to a big conference up in LA with all these very high-powered individuals. From my understanding, there was an influx of many millions coming in to help him launch some of these businesses. We all were assigned our positions, and we all took off to start up these brand new companies. It was really exciting. Rick offered to drive us back to the airport so we get in Tesla and shower traffic. Rick is dipping in and out of traffic going 90 miles an hour. We were just on the edge of our seats hanging on. We finally get to the airport and goodbye. Good to see you again. I'll see you soon. The give him a hug and he slams a big old kiss on me. I said, what was that all about? And he said, well, I want to see, like, maybe there's something here. Maybe we can date. And I looked down and I said, you know what? You need to definitely the amount of time that you spend with your career, with your businesses, the little bit amount of time you can have to return a phone call, let alone to send it to line text is another word.
My name is Rick Singer. My job is to life coach kids and families through the whole process of getting into college. We have families in Champaign and Miami, and they send their plane to come pick me up, come to the meeting for a couple hours, 2-3 hours, put me right back on the plane, send me to the next place I need to go. It's amazing.
When I watched that video that he sent to do this reality show, it was a bit shocking to me.
We work in the home of all these families, so we know them intimately. I know what their bedrooms look like, I know what their laundry room looks like, I know how they get along, so I know what we like.
Really? You're going to put yourself out there like that for this? And it just didn't make sense. Everything was so private.
The whole time they're yelling and screaming at each other. It's my life. No, if you go to this school, it's the wrong school. I don't want to pay $50,000 to go to school. I mean, unbelievable.
It just didn't make sense, especially at the caliber of the coach that I, believed that he was. He didn't have a lot of time for people in his life. He was married for years and had a son when I met him. He was divorced probably 6-7 years. He would say, I'm only going to do this coaching for another 3, 4, maybe 5 years, and then I'm done. I don't know. I really don't know what made him happy or what his desires even were. It's almost like on a rat wheel, trying to get to a means to an end, and there was really no end in sight.
So it's just you and me. I mean, is that kosher? And we absolutely. Part of the reason why I'm taking my wife off this, she's very nervous about all of this, and I just I want to have a. Let me ask you straight up: you've never had an issue with this? No one's ever gotten in trouble with this. Never had an issue with anybody. Could you ever see it happening? I've never seen it happen. What I'm asking is, could this ever get back to my daughter or to the family? I mean, this comes out of it. I don't even want to know what you guys do. I'm just, Rick, so you understand. It's not, I totally get it. They're absolutely confident. There's no issues here. We've been doing this for a long time. Let me put it differently. If somebody were to catch this, what happens? The only way someone can catch it is if you guys tell someone. I'm not going to tell anyone. Well, it's just, to be honest, I'm not worried about the moral issue here. I'm worried about if she gets caught doing that, she's finished. So I just never happened before in 20 some odd years. The only thing that can happen is if someone talks. Yeah, if she tells somebody. Oh yeah, she won't talk.
Singer didn't make a fateful mistake that led to his being exposed. What happened is that somebody was arrested on an unrelated securities charge, and that person traded information. That financial executive said, you may be interested to know that a coach at Yale asked me for a bribe.
A gentleman by the name of Meredith, who had been working with parents to get their children into Yale under the guise that they were going to be soccer players. And of course, the first question they asked Mr. Meredith after they investigated and indicted him was, Mr. Meredith, is there anything you'd like to tell me? Yes, there is. There's a gentleman named Rick Singer who I'd like to introduce you to, and I'm happy to cooperate against him because I don't want to go to prison. And just like that, Rick Meredith is a cooperating informant. And then he cooperates against him.
Please head for the objective.
Okay, so you put it up here because that's where the water's going to come out. So our shampoo is going to come out all along this to get her really good. Please don't make up on the a little more shampoo. It doesn't feel right. A little more shampoo. It doesn't feel right to her. Yes, I need a lot. Bring the ammo. It looks good. It looks good. Okay. So do you flush it now? I think so. I mean, that feels right as the last time we did it. Last time it worked good. That was like the house. Let me make sure I get it out to the address. No, I mean, this is it needs to. Oh, it has to go further. Yeah. Yep. And then that's the back. And then you the back. Yes. 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 Okay. And now you see it. The best part is the hole. It's going to take the hair and it's going to start cleaning it. Do you see? The hair is already starting to be cleaned. Yeah. Okay. The water. The dirt is already coming off of the hair. Oh. Okay. Wait. Yeah. Your hair was dirty. This is an important thing. You're right. Oh. So replace the lid and then we're going to wash. Okay. Now let it not. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right.
This gives us advantage.
No. It won't catch it. It's not going to catch it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Did you? That's right. Yeah, Crystal. It's clean. It's fine. Yeah. Are you ready? Yeah. See? Watch it. Watch it get clean. Watch it. Watch it. You got sudsy. Yeah. Wait. Still rinsing. Still rinsing. Look.
Yeah,
you see that?
That's really clean. Yeah.
Look.
You say that you have been aware of the enormity of this issue preceding the beginnings of the road. You've been aware of it. When
this is taking the nature of this issue, then I appreciate it. Because if I see the whole line, and I'm sure what I did
you're not on an island. You're in a bubble. I don't know. You're not on an island. You must.
Well, I actually love the job very much.
Congress to act and stop with the false choices. This is not about getting rid of the Second Amendment. It's simply about saying we need reasonable gun safety laws. I'm going to tell you something. I've been working on this for a long time. I actually thought that Sandy Hook would have been the thing that moved Congress. How when 26 and 7-year-old babies were slaughtered, and they did not act. And they did not act. It is time for Congress to act and stop with the false choices. This is not about getting rid of the Second Amendment. It's simply about saying we need reasonable gun safety laws. There's no reason why we have assault weapons on the streets of a civil society. They are weapons of war. They are designed to kill a lot of people quickly. Yeah, we all agree that we need background checks. But the point here is Congress needs to act. And on the House side, they did. There are two bills which the president is prepared to sign, and so we need the Senate to act.
Back the horse in races 1 to 6 at Rose Hill this Saturday, and if it runs second or third, get up to $50 back in bonus bets. Take it to the next level.
This is going to be about your viewers and all of us pleading to the reason, pleading to the hearts and minds of the people in the United States Senate to say enough with the partisanship, enough with the ideological perspective on this. Let's just be practical and agree. People who have been found to be a danger to themselves and others should not be able to purchase. So what does our administration do? We keep hearing about executive action. What does that mean, Madam Vice President? What it means is that we need to take action. But Gail, let's be clear about this. There is this piece about executive action, but if we pass legislation, it's permanent. If the Congress acts, then it becomes law. And that is what we have lacked. That is what has been missing. We need universal background checks. Various states have done it. But there's no universal approach to this.
As it stands right now, you do not have the votes. Failing that, is the president prepared to take executive action?
We should first expect the United States Congress to act.
My first day of office, liability protection for gun manufacturers. Closing the background check loopholes.
My turn, okay?
I made a commitment that I'll do everything in my power, in office or out of office, to get those assault weapons officers, which I've done once already.
Enemy
and
unit
to get
here!
those troops to
Can't
have
beat the smell of fresh
multiple
bullets.
bullets not for sale.
Have you changed minds in the Senate? You were in the Senate.
Elections matter. Elections matter. And, you know, there are a bunch of folks, Moms Demand Action, a bunch of folks from Gabby Giffords to the Brady folks who join them, and let's say that we're going to hold our elected people accountable if they're not going to be with us on what we need in terms of reasonable gun safety laws.
But Madam Vice President, we heard from the head of Moms Demand Action earlier in the broadcast who said the president has it in his power to do something right now.
And the president has said he's prepared to sign legislation.
But he can also take executive action.
I don't think the president is excluding that, but again, I want to be clear that if we really want something that is going to be lasting, we need to pass legislation.
I'll do my very best. I'm on my way.
The freak that stunk, Bill. Why not? They were very, very bad. Smelled like a polecat. Davey told us company if you don't mind. I'm the only player to play 100 games for both clubs. I'm not going to told you that before. No, you had told me every week. Whether or not I was popping up there and playing against the Giants, that meant just very well.
I'm on my way.
It is time for Congress to act and stop with the false choices. This is not about getting rid of the Second Amendment. It's simply about saying we need reasonable gun safety laws.
Okay, now I'm set for another round. What are you orders?
I'm going to tell you something. I've been working on this for a long time. I actually thought that Sandy Hook would have been the thing that moved Congress. How the 20 and 6 and 7-year-old babies were slaughtered. And they did not act. And they did not act. It is time for Congress to act and stop with the false choices. This is not about getting rid of the Second Amendment. It's simply about saying we need reasonable gun safety laws. There's no reason why we assault weapons on the streets of a civil society. They are designed to kill a lot of people quickly. Yeah, we all let us all agree that there are background checks. But the point here is Congress needs to act. And on the House side, they did. There are 2 bills which the president is prepared to sign, and so we need the Senate to act. This is going to be about your viewers and all of us pleading pleading to the hearts and minds of the people in the United States Senate to say enough with the partisanship, enough with the ideological perspective on this. Let's just be practical and agree. People who have been found to be a danger to themselves and others should not be able to vote.
But what will the Biden administration do? We keep hearing about executive action. What does that mean, Madam Vice President?
What it means is that we need to take action. But Gary, let's be clear about this. There is the piece about executive action, but if we pass legislation that's permanent, if the Congress acts, then it becomes law. And that is what we have lacked. That is what has been missing. We need universal background checks. But there's no universal approach to this.
As it stands right now, you do not have the votes. Failing that, is the president prepared to take executive action?
We should first expect the United States Congress to act.
Operation complete. We took their base.
right here. Just let all the fellas know. We don't want your unsolicited dog pics. That pic vomit. No, I didn't motherfucking ask for it. And it looked like a pepperoni stick. Some one-eyed monster devil shit. I didn't order two meatballs, spaghetti and Alfredo sauce. My appetite has just run off. I'ma plug both of my eyes up. And then he's like, what? I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, bro, what's up? I think I'm lesbian. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, bro.
Don't tell me to get out of my own country. Don't yell at me. Why do you? No, I can say whatever I want. You just told me to get out of my own country. Go back to where I come from. I'm calling you, man.
Yeah, gladly.
Yeah, don't want you in my face either.
With Microsoft 365, you can make the most of each moment you have. Microsoft 365 brings premium Office apps together and more in one easy subscription, so you can make the most of your time.
Don't tell me to get out of my own country. Don't yell at me. Why do you? No, I can say whatever I want. You just told me to get out of my own country. Go back to where I come from. I'm calling you, man.
Yeah, gladly.
Yeah, don't want you in my face either.
It's about climate change. Can I maybe refer to...
Oh my god, here guys. Oh nice. No way.
My sister was dying in hospital one day in Chalk, and I rang the hospital. I said, hey, my sister's name was Janine. I said, hey, what?
Okay. Please move on, guys. Actually, but.
I'm sure Shawn Michaels is having his little fun in San Antonio, Texas, the commissioner. That's all right. Rock, you won't mind one more time taking mankind apart, will you?
Matter of fact, The Rock will lay the smackdown on his candy ass.
Yes! Much similar to the Greenwich street fight that we're going to see in Albany, New York. Check it out.
If you're ready for WrestleMania, give me a hell yeah! You're damn right, because Stone Cold Steve Austin has been jerked around long enough. And I will say this, with Paul White as a special referee, or without him, it really don't make a damn, because that belt is coming with me, and that's all I got to say about that. For the last few weeks, shut your little lips. Not gonna put your little glasses up right now. For the last few weeks, I come out here and I sit here and listen to you spin your little nursery rhymes about Jabroni Avenue or Know Your Road Boulevard. Jesus Christ, son, you better get your ass serious, because Stone Cold Steve Austin is gonna take his ass to Philadelphia, check right in to the SmackDown Hotel, roll right in to room 316, and burn that son of a bitch to the ground. You look at me. Take your little glasses off so I can see your eyeballs, son. Pull them off, because I want you to look right here. When that bell rings and the match is over, you are looking at the next WWF champion, and that's the bottom line. Can Stone Cold Steve Austin is focused! As far as right now goes, the big celebration afterwards, Stone Cold's going to drink a hell of a lot of beer, but I think we're going to share a little pre-match beer right now. Pre-match beer? I'll tell you what, hey, Stone Cold Jabroni, you come out here and you make your idol threats like you're the great one, but obviously you're not. So The Rock says you take that truck and drive it right back down Know Your Road Boulevard. You drive it right back to Jabroni Drive. check your candy.
Stone Cold! Stone Cold in a beer bag! A beer bag for the corporation! Stone Cold! The corporation! A beer bag! You gotta get that anytime more often! Here we go!
Can't see. Oh.
They're getting away. Put yourself in the enemy's blind spot.
Provide the squad.
Can't see.
Entering combat.
Fucking hell, man.
He's got cover fire coming. Man down. Everybody be careful. Enemy sighted.
The hunt begins. Target operations complete. Sweet dreams.
Man. I'm on my way. New hostile, sir. Orgalia.
Target silent. Head to the next one.
I'll see the enemy exposed.
Let's do this thing. Just try dodging me. Go down!
Come in. I repeat, come in.
Moving out!
Must be my lucky day.
Good. That makes sense. I'm on it.
Coordinates locked. Distance 500 meters.
Been waiting here. That's top ball!
Oh, fuck off.
Been waiting here. You're done! Been waiting here. A little spit'll hold me together. You're done!
Please be sure to check your ammunition.
All right!
Oh, hi! Honestly, I'd rather just go home.
Are there any weak spots?
Enemy spotted!
Good.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. No, 6, 3,
Think of that.
Just watch this. All right.
Good. That makes sense.
Enemy sighted.
My turn, okay?
hunt begins. Sweet dreams.
Target spot.
Nothing.
Man down, everybody.
I'll try my best. I'm on a roll.
Man.
I'm on my way.
Hostiles approaching.
Enemy sighted.
We're under fire here. Requesting.
I'm on my way.
Pushing us back.
Just watch this.
Wait to see what they'll do.
My turn, okay?
Don't let them provoke you.
The hunt begins.
My turn, okay?
Entering combat.
My turn, okay? Enemy unit spotted!
Don't let them break through.
Enemy unit spotted!
You're doing well. Just keep it up.
Enemy sighted!
not harm my people.
Try to keep an eye on your teammates' position.
Such attacks won't stop me. Enemy sight. Your orders, sir.
Target.
Just watch this.
Don't get beaten down. Fire back.
Been waiting here.
Please keep up formation as you flank them.
Been waiting here. Just watch this. You're done. Just watch this. You're done. All right.
Enemy.
Been waiting here. All right.
I'll take care of it.
Sorry, dear.
Man down. Everybody be careful.
I'll take care of it.
Here goes. You're doing well.
I'm on my way. I do hope this won't stay.
Operation complete. We took their base.
He's a great competitor. He's will be remembered as a great competitor.
When he got around to talking about Mitchell, he
What's up, guys? I'm Kemal Malo. Is this all going back to Sky? I'm super excited. They got me. I'll probably have to be Manu. He's someone that I looked up to. I went to one of the games at Mount Smart. I was playing Union at the time, and yeah, I just spotted Manu straight away, big body, and just loved the way he carried the ball and the way he played the game. And I guess that's where I sort of drew my inspiration for Manu.
Welcome to your worst night.
Probably Edith for Noel Blake. You know, he's got inside jokes. You know, he's got stories for days. He probably says the same stories like over and over again, but it's still funny. Top female will probably have to be Jazz. Just the stuff he does. You know, little niggles. He's a
Come back.
Hello. I'm sorry. I hope we'll meet.
Well. All set. All set. All set. Come back again soon, bro.